Hello everyone, and I'm back getting ready to read chapter 2 of Maizon at Blue Hill. So remember in chapter 1, Maizon is talking with Mr. Parson, who is one of the counselors at the Blue Hill school that she's going to. It's a boarding school, and she's not very excited about it at all. She doesn't want to leave her friends and family here at Madison Street. So now in chapter 2, she's going to talk to her friend Margaret about leaving. So let's get started. Yo, Margaret! Margaret raised her window and stared down at me through the metal slat of her fire escape. Shh, Maizon, little Jay's sleeping. Come on outside, I whispered as loud as I could, because she lived on the 6th floor. That's why I had to scream in the first place. Come up, she whispered back. Mama's still working. I gotta watch little Jay until she gets home. I pushed open the first door and waited for Margaret to buzz me through the second one, then raced up the 5 flights of stairs to her apartment. That's nice, Margaret said, pointing her chin towards my outfit. I rolled my eyes and plopped down on the couch. 3 more days in civilian clothes, I mumbled. 3 stupid days, 72 hours, 4,320 minutes, 259,200 seconds, Margaret finished, sitting down beside me. Cheese and crackers, Margaret, I said, because that's what Grandma wanted me to say instead of saying Jesus Christ. That's not any time at all. Even God got 7 days. Margaret nodded. And God wasn't even going away. She handed me a stick of gum and took one out of the packet for herself. You learn how to make that sound yet, Maizon? I pressed the gum into my mouth and shook my head. I haven't practiced. I heard this girl down the block. She was clicking her gum in a mile a minute. Click, click, click. It was something. Somebody told me to have a cavity. You have to have a cavity to click it. I heard you had to have a filling, but I have a filling on my left side, Margaret said, pointing to her left cheek. And I've been trying for a long time and still nothing. Anyway, Grandma said that's impolite, Margaret. Hattie can do it. She does it with any kind of gum. Hattie, Miss Dale's 19-year-old daughter, wasn't exactly my favorite person in the world. She is impolite. She's nice, Maizon. You think everybody's nice. A pitiful look moved across Margaret's face. I glared at her, mad at that she always broke so easily. But when the look settled in her eyes, I was sorry. Her father died this summer. I didn't want to make her hurt any more than she was already hurting. After all, we were best friends. Sorry, I mumbled, putting my arms around her shoulder. I'm just all mixed up inside. Margaret looked down at her fingernails. After a moment, she started picking at the skin under her cuticle. I smacked her hand away gently. Don't, Margaret. You'll get yourself all scarred up. Margaret shrugged. Everything's all settled in now, isn't it, Maizon? You're surely going away, right? We sent my trunk back today. Mr. Parson was just at my house. He had more pictures to show Grandma. But you and her already looked at all those slides, and she met some of the teachers and everything. Why do they have to keep coming back with more stuff and more stuff and more stuff? Because Grandma can't go up to Blue Hill. They want to make sure she understands about the school and everything. And I guess they want to make her feel like she's been there. Oh, Margaret said, staring down at her hands again. Plus, they want me to get kind of used to the idea of being away at school like that. Schools are schools. It's still teaching and learning and doing a ton and a half of homework instead of being able to watch a good movie. Margaret looked at me and crossed her eyes. I laughed. Then Margaret started laughing too. And after a minute, we weren't even sure what we were laughing about. Sometimes it felt so good just to be together that we couldn't help but giggle and act silly. Even if people stared at us and frowned, we didn't care. I stopped laughing and leaned back against the couch. Here, Margaret said, handing me a small throw pillow, which I stuffed behind my head. I'm all crazy mixed up inside, I said again, only whispering this time. Margaret moved towards me, bringing her knees up and leaning her chin on them. Because you're going away? I shrugged, pressing my palm against my mouth the way I do when I'm thinking. It's more, though. It's going away, but it's more. Like what? Like you remember how we used to sit under a tree when we were little and talk about the things we wanted to be? Margaret nodded. Little Maizon, we did that a month ago. It seems longer than that to me. And I wanted to be a lawyer and a doctor and a writer. And I wanted to be a lawyer and a movie director and a writer. We could still be all those things. That's not going to change any. But those are the things I wanted to be here on Madison Street. I might want to be somebody a whole lot different when I go away. Why? Because there won't be a Miss Dale at Blue Hill, or you, or Grandma, or Junior. I mean, Lil J, or Hattie. There won't be any of the people from this block. And those are the people who have always been around me, saying, do it, Mason, do it. Now, they're all singing a different song. They're all saying, go to Blue Hill, Mason. But that's them showing you the way to be who you want to be. I looked at Margaret, all of a sudden wanting to cry. Her hair was pulled back away from her face and braided down the back of her neck, the way it usually was, and her skin, the same black, dark brown it had always been. She was right there in front of me. It's not even a foot away. But even as we sat there talking, something was already moving in between us. We were slipping away from each other. It was like we had begun to speak different languages. You know, you hear a song, Margaret, and it could be about the dumbest thing, but when you hear it, something clicks inside of you and all of a sudden you want to cry. Margaret nodded. That's what this moment feels like to me. I'm feeling kind of choky too, Maizon, but I really don't know why. I'm going to write you all the time. And I'm going to write you back all the time. Maybe 2 letters a day. Margaret shook her head. You won't have time to do all that writing. You better think about doing a little studying, girl. Blue Hill is going to teach circles around your head. Shoot, I said, waving my hand. That dumb school isn't even ready for me. Margaret looked up at me and raised her eyebrows, but she didn't say anything. All right, everybody. So that's chapter 2. She is really having a hard time, Maizon, getting ready for Blue Hill, and especially her girlfriend, her best friend, Margaret. But Margaret understands that this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and she knows that Madison needs to go, but both of them are scared that it's going to bring some differences between them and their relationship. So have you ever felt like that? I know I felt like that when I went to college and had to leave some of my girlfriends at the high school. So I understand how she feels. When you have to separate from people that you're always been around, it can be hard. It can be hard to have to go to a new place and learn new people, but you're so comfortable with the other people that you're always around. I understand how she's feeling, and I'm sure you guys do too. All right. We look forward to reading chapter 3 and talk to you next time. Have a great day.